Charlotte, North Carolina, Stephen Curry was only a few podiums away. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Joel Embiid were elsewhere on the court and could be seen in flashes on the big screen above. Some of the biggest stars in the basketball universe were floating around. Then the chant broke out from the stands. Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker in Charlotte. Kemba Walker is as beloved as any of them. Maybe more. Walker raised his arm and acknowledged the chanting fans with a smile. The love is mutual. While All-Star Weekend in Charlotte has been a triumphant homecoming for Stephen Curry and a celebration of the Curry family, who Commissioner Adam Silver called the first family of Charlotte, there also is love for the slightly undersized point guard who was drafted by into Charlotte, adopted the town, and has become its biggest NBA star and ambassador. The fan support has been A1, which is how it is each and every day for me, Walker said. For the fans, I'm happy they have this opportunity, I'm happy we got this event here. I think we deserved it. Walker, a three-time All-Star, said he and the city have been taking in everything around All-Star Weekend, the concerts, parties, pop-up stores and more, and savoring it. Walker competed in Saturday night's three-point contest, although it was not his best outing. He admitted to being tired because of the fast pace of everything in a city that usually moves a little bit slower, but that and a little more traffic were his only complaints. And minor ones at that. I'm just happy to be home, honestly, Walker said. Excited to welcome people into the city. I've been getting a lot of good feedback about the city. Like today, a lot of guys have been telling me it's their first time in Charlotte, they didn't know how cool it was, so I was really excited to hear that. Walker grew up in a very different world, the Bronx in New York. However, his story of not having a lot of money, spending his days after school at the Boys and Girls Club, and having to work hard has resonated with the city and its residents. So has his loyalty. Walker has not tried to push his way out the door despite the franchise not putting players around him who can win consistently. Walker is a free agent this summer and will have options, although the Hornets want to re-sign him and will break the bank to do so, and Walker has professed his love for the city and sounded like a guy who wants to re-sign. This season's Charlotte team is a good example of what Walker faces. It feels like Walker against the world. The team is 6.2 points per 100 possessions worse when he sits, mostly because the offense falls apart. The team's second best player is Jeremy Lamb. Or maybe Cody Zeller. Walker has pushed Charlotte to a 27-30 record this season, good enough for 7th in the East at the All-Star break, but just half a game ahead on 9 seed Miami and 1 up on surging Orlando. Charlotte also has the toughest remaining schedule in the East over its final 25 games, and 538.com gives them a 45% chance to make the playoffs. Hopefully my teammates are getting some rest now, because when this weekend is over we need to make a strong push, Walker said of the team's playoff drive. We have a pretty tough schedule. But that's for next week. For the remainder of this weekend, Walker and his mother are around and just trying to soak it all in. He admitted it's been surreal to be named an All-Star starter the season the game is in Charlotte, and he wants to make sure those fans who love him and chant his name get a show. I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm definitely going to go out there and compete and try to get a win, Walker said. Put on a show for the fans. Charlotte, North Carolina, the Oklahoma City Thunder have more athletes on the wing than those couple of guys whose names you know playing in the All-Star game on Sunday. They have Hamidou Diallo, and he can climb the ladder with the best of them and knows how to throw it down. Diallo had the best dunk of the night, a Superman-themed elbow dunk over Shaq, and as deservingly your 2019 All-Star Dunk Contest. The problem with practicing a dunk over Shaq is the man himself is not around to practice with. It's tough, Diallo said. My man Chuck Millen, from Team Flight Brothers, we tried a bunch of things. We tried having people stand, putting basketballs on top of them, just to make sure I could clear the shot. So it was tough. Diallo edged out the Knicks' Dennis Smith Jr. In the finals. On his first finals dunk, Smith tried to go with a between-the-legs 360 but missed twice. He changed it up for his third and final dunk attempt, the high-bounce tomahawk, but he missed that one too. The judges generously gave him a 33, but he was destined to lose after that. Smith still put on a show. On his second finals dunk, he brought out Stephen Curry and Dwayne Wade, taking the pass from Curry and leaping over Wade, and after a couple of misses he finally nailed it for a full 50 from the judges, which the crowd in the arena didn't agree with. The contest itself was hit and miss, and for stretches much more miss, and the crowd in the arena did not seem into it, but there were highlights. John Collins came out first and had one of the more underrated dunks of the night, slapping the backboard on one side then reverse dunking on the other. The judges gave him 8s across the board, which was low for a high degree of difficulty dunk. On Collins' second dunk he brought out a mini replica of the Wright brothers plane, went with some first-in-flight gear, and he clipped the plane but made the dunk. Diallo was next and pulled Russell Westbrook out of the crowd. Westbrook threw it off the side of the backboard and Diallo grabbed it and threw it down. His 48 out of 50 had him in the lead after the first round. In the second round, Diallo brought out Shaq for that dunk of the night. That got him into the finals. Smith Jr. was next and started with a high bounce catch and dunk but had to do it a couple times after he missed the first one. His second dunk was one of the best of the evening. He brought out J. Cole, Sunday's halftime performer, put on Cole's high school jersey, then did not hold back. Charlotte's Miles Bridges had the hometown crowd behind him, but when he missed every dunk attempt in the first round his night was destined to be short. For his second attempt, he brought out Charlotte legend Muggsy Bogues, rocked the Larry Johnson jersey, then went off the side of the backboard with Kemba Walker for a perfect 50. Charlotte, Vince Carter's elbow dunk in the 2000 dunk contest is legendary. Hamidou Diallo just one-upped it. The Thunder forward put his entire forearm through the rim, while dunking over Shaquille O'Neal. Compare that above video to Carter's iconic dunk. Diallo's path to the rim is far more impressive than Carter's. Charlotte, in North Carolina, where the Wright brothers took flight, John Collins paid homage in the dunk contest. The Hawks big put on a cap, scarf and goggles befitting the Tuskegee Airmen and brought out a large model airplane to jump over. Removing the goggles was disappointing enough. Then Collins broke the darn plane. I love gimmick dunks but you can't break the probe. Charlotte, 3 years ago, Joe Harris got waived. Tonight, he beat the greatest shooter of all time in the NBA's three-point contest. Harris posted a 26-point final round, topping Stephen Curry's 24 and Buddy Hield's 19, to win the middle event of All-Star Saturday night. I think you look at the makeup of our Brooklyn Nets team, and it's a lot of guys that were sort of cast off and had a second opportunity, said Harris, who washed out with the Cavaliers then got sent to the Magic in a trade and waive. I personally was one of those guys. I got lucky going into a situation, going to a Nets organization that had such a strong value and emphasis on culture, skill development. And I'm sort of a byproduct of that system. Even as he has gained prominence in Brooklyn, it wasn't certain Harris would get invited to the three-point contest. Making 47% of his three-pointers this season, but Spurs forward Davis Bertans is shooting 48% from beyond the arc on nearly as many attempts per game and didn't get invited. In the greatest three-point shooting era ever, spots in this event are hard to come by. So, Harris made a promotional video to aid his campaign. He said the Nets and his agency pushed it. Obviously, I was all for it, Harris said. I think to experience All-Star is quite unique. Full results: Round 1 Stephen Curry 27, Buddy Hield 26, Joe Harris 25, Danny Green 23, Devin Booker 23, Damian Lillard 17, Dirk Nowitzki 17, Seth Curry 16, Kemba Walker 15, Chris Middleton 11, Round 2 Joe Harris 26, Stephen Curry 24, Buddy Hield 19.